All right, so welcome, guys. We are in October now. What is the date even today? It is October 5th. Um, so last week, our call was centered kind of around planning ahead, getting free challenge groups and Beachbody challenge groups planned ahead, setting a date, setting a time, and start inviting people to that. So I hope it sounds like everyone's been doing that, which is awesome. And again, if anyone either still doesn't feel comfortable running a challenge group and wants to join in with somebody, let us know. Or if someone wants to pair up with somebody to run a group, let us know. We're a team, so I want everyone to feel included and do whatever they're comfortable with and confident with. So if you don't have a group yet and you want to run one, go for it. If you want to join somebody, either private message them or just post in our team page. Let us know if you're just looking for one to join and be a challenger, or if you're looking for one to co-host with somebody. So that being said, I kind of thought maybe this week we could go over some tips and ideas on how to run challenge groups. I know there's a lot of different ways you can do it, and my best advice is almost to YouTube. Go on YouTube and search for how to run a Beachbody challenge group, or if you have a coach that you follow, like one of the top coaches or someone who's your favorite coach, type their name in, and challenge groups, usually more often than not, most of the top coaches have videos on how they successfully run challenge groups. And there's tons of advice and great information you can get from them. So I highly recommend doing that. Or, reaching out either to our team or to Fit Mama or Rockstar, and asking in those groups, like, what have you guys done that's been super helpful for your challenge groups? Because I know a lot of the time it can seem like you're the only one posting, which doesn't mean your group isn't good. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It could just be that the people that you have in your group are a little unfamiliar with challenge groups, are a little hesitant on how to post, what to post, just posting or sharing in general. I can't say that there's going to be never a time when you're dealing with people when it sounds like crickets are happening in your groups, but there's definitely a lot of creative ways that coaches are coming up with for how to kind of keep people engaged, to keep people posting, and making your groups more interactive. So I thought I'd share kind of some of the things that either I've tried or that I've seen other coaches talk about or try. And then I definitely would love to hear from you guys if anything that you've done has really worked. And for those of you who aren't on the call and are listening to the recording, please, when I post the recording to the group, please in the comments below share anything that you've done in your past groups that's really helped. So one thing I want to start off with is I saw Lauren do this, because I think a lot of the times we accidentally, as coaches, like, we know what a challenge group is. We know what to expect in them. We know that we're supposed to be posting. We know the kinds of stuff you want to post, like things like that I think we sometimes forget that, like, other people don't know that. To us, like, a challenge group or a free group is like second nature. Like, we run them, we know what they mean, we know what we expect in them. But if you have a new challenger who's never been in something like this before, they don't totally understand what the heck it is, what they're supposed to do, and things like that. So I saw Lauren post in one of the groups, I think it was either last month or the month before. She kind of did like a what to expect in this group type of post. So things that she pointed out were, look out for your coaches or your captains or whatever you want to call whoever's running the group. Look out for their posts. They're going to share great information for you that you're going to want to read and put into action. Share that you want people posting their sweaty selfies. Share that you want people sharing recipes, talk about how like this is a support group. So we're in here to support each other. So if you see someone struggling, like the coaches running the group don't have to be the only ones commenting. Like everybody can comment, everybody can share their experiences, everybody can, come to the rescue if someone shares that they're struggling. It's a like we're in a new community of people in this private group. So, everyone is there to help and support and to motivate each other. Have people share inspiring quotes or, anything that they want to that's related to their journey. Encourage people to share when they're struggling. Because I know it can be scary or hard or intimidating to do that, but that again is what these groups are for. So, and us as coaches, even though doing a post like this is very important because it shows people what to expect, and what you want to do for them, for the group, like what the purpose of the group is basically. But as coaches, like we want to make sure that we ourselves are doing these things. So we as coaches need to be sharing our sweaty selfies. We need to be sharing that we're drinking our shakes. We need to be sharing that we're following the meal plans, doing basically all of the things that we're telling our challengers to do. But getting back to that original post, other things you want to maybe share in that original post is if you're going to be running like mini challenges or having an option for people to win prizes, like kind of either touch on that real quickly or go into details about how you're going to do that. What else did I want to say? I totally lost one of the things. Crap. But basically, give them a little breakdown of what the purpose of your group is, why you're all there, and what you as their coach expect them to do. Oh, that's what it was. Like, what do you expect of them? Like, they need to put in the work and, do what their program says, like follow the workouts, follow the eating plans, reach out for help if they need it, but they need to do the work if they want to see results. So little things like that, just to kind of like pump people up, get them aware of what the group is about, and let them know what they're expected to do from you. Other things that I've seen have been really helpful is having a prep week. Doesn't necessarily have to be a full week. It could be a couple of days if you want it to be. Kind of, judge how you want to do that. But things to go over in the prep week is, if this is one of your Beachbody groups, like tell people, open up your guide, read through the nutrition guide, look at your calendar, hang it up somewhere where you can see it. Look at all your DVDs, make sure that they're all there. Well, maybe that's a stupid thing to say because usually they're all there, but basically get them to open up their DVDs because some people buy these things and they never open the damn things. So get them to open it, get them to look at the nutrition guides, to read it, get them to do their nutrition calculation, explain to them how to do these things. That can be on one day. On another day, share with them a video or pictures or how to take your before and after pictures, because that's definitely something we want people doing, taking their before pictures and measurements before they start and then doing them after. And there's a specific way that you want to do that. And then also in this post, you can make sure you're telling people to enter their before and afters into the Beachbody Challenge. You can talk about that in the beginning, and then towards the end, talk about it again. Like you're coming up to the end of your challenge, like you're going to have an after photo soon. Remember, you want to be sharing this with the Beachbody Challenge. You could win money, or if anything, you get a free t-shirt for whatever program you're doing. So we want to be telling people these things. You can, if you have any tools or methods to how you've figured out your containers throughout the day, because basically all the programs now come with the container system, the color-coded containers. So if you've found something that's really helped you figure out how to do a meal plan, share with people how to figure out how to meal plan before they start the challenge. So that way, when day one comes, they already have their meals planned and prepped. They're ready to go. Nothing's kind of holding them back as far as getting on track with the eating and on track with the workouts. Other things that you can talk about are how much of a mindset change this is going to be for them. And you know, kind of, this is something where you can kind of like dig into yourself and figure out what kind of mindset shift you've needed to make for yourself to be successful on this journey. It's very much a mental game. So like share with them that, you know, tips that you've found that have helped you change your mindset. Like share with them things like how, you know, you have a relationship with food, whether that, what, like, depending on what that is for you, it's going to be really easy or really hard for you to follow this nutrition plan, but make people aware that they need to be thinking about these things and changing the way they look at food. Like food should be used as fuel, not just because it tastes good, which is really hard. I'm one of those people that seriously struggles with that. You can touch on, like, if you feel like you're an emotional eater or a stress eater, or if you don't know how to cook, or like all kinds of things. Like there's ways to eventually overcome that. And I think it's a good idea to kind of bring that stuff up in the beginning, because I think a lot of people are going to look at that list that you make and be like, yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. So that they don't think that they're getting into the group where everyone's going to be crushing their nutrition plans and they're sitting there like terrified that they're going to suck at it. So, you know, making sure that people feel comfortable. Like there's a lot of excuses that you can make. There's a lot of struggles you can have with food alone or with exercise, but that's what we're here for. We're here to figure it out. We're here to learn ways to change our mindset and really, you know, look at these things in a more positive way. Trying to think of other things that you can do in the prep week, but you kind of get the idea, like things that are going to get people ready for when day one of their program starts the following week on Monday. There's nothing holding them back. There's no question that they, you know, like maybe they still are a little bit unsure about their food plan, but you've given them time to really look at their books, read through it, ask you questions, ask the group questions on how they can prepare, and then be ready for it. Other things you can talk about are, you know, what does your day look like? When are you going to schedule your workouts? Because some people's work days might be really long and they may have to realize that they got to either wake up early or stay up late, things like that. And then throughout your group, you want to, as the coach who's running the group, and again, you can be co-hosting it, you can be running it with a bunch of different people. Like as a team, we've done a couple of team-wide groups, which I think have been awesome. But depending on the amount of people that are in your group, will determine how many days a week you're doing like a coach post, if you will. But, you know, this is where you can go into our Coach Online office and find the challenge group guides. If you're doing a program-specific challenge group, you can find, they have a guide for literally every single program. There's also a multi-program challenge group guide. So use those if you're struggling with ideas on what to post. I think they might even do like a prep week in those too, where they kind of go over a few of the things that I said before. But I mean, you don't have to use those challenge group guides. If you have stuff that has helped you, or like if you have past posts or like other things that you've used before, you can use those again. You can change them up a little bit if you feel, you know, if it's a group that's been ongoing, so you're not reposting the same things. But basically, you can kind of do whatever you want for the actual challenge itself, but I do suggest that you touch upon a few like major healthy habits. Like Laura created a healthy habits group. Her template for that is in our files tab of our team page, but those are some of the most important healthy habits that you want to be developing. So things like stretching, like why that's beneficial to you. Things like sleep. Sleep is super important for muscle recovery, brain function, like a whole bunch of other things. Water intake. You want to be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces every day. What are the other things? But, you know, things like that where no matter what, like you want to be touching on those, because those are huge healthy things that people should know about. Not everyone does know about them. So if you're sharing that, that's super valuable. And then you can do like themes for each day. Like you could do Motivation Monday, I don't know. I totally just blanked. What's a good Tuesday one?
Transformation.
Transformation Tuesday. Yes, you can share like a success story, or like, I don't know, like Water Wednesday. I think someone said in a video once that every Wednesday we did a post. It was like Water Wednesday, and it said something like post how many ounces of water you drank in the day, and let's guess how many ounces our group is going to consume for this day today, and like whoever gets the closest wins a prize or something stupid. Or like if you post a picture of you drinking water, you're entered into a chance to win a prize, something silly like that. Or, you know, there's Thursday, there's Friday, like each day of the week you can come up with a fun theme, and that kind of thing can help get people like more engaged. Like if you make it funny or fun, or if you make a contest out of it where like everyone in the group has to post or comment below if they want to be entered to win a prize, like you can make it fun. And these prizes, they don't have to be anything crazy. Like I'm not trying to tell you guys to, you know, spend a ton of money on prizes. Like it can be something as silly as like you send them a card in the mail, you know, congratulating them, or like telling them they're doing a good job, or you can send them like a book if there's like a cheap personal development book that you really like, to share that with someone. For me, every time there's like a summer blowout or Black Friday, like all those sales that Beachbody has where things are like super cheap, I've bought a ton of the programs for like $10 or something like that, and that's a good prize to give someone. It's another program. You can get creative with it, like the hippie runner bands. You can get 5 of those for $20. You can send someone you know, those headbands that I always wear. You can send someone something like that, like little things like that. But it just gets people excited, and it gets people posting or commenting because they want to win the prize. What else did I want to tell you? I really liked in the team-wide challenge groups we've done, I loved how Laura always did set it up Sunday, or set up Sunday, whatever she called it, kind of just like how did you do last week? How do you feel like you could do better this week? Like strategies on, you know, if you messed up last week, that's in the past, who cares? You're going to do better this week, you know, things like that, to get people, you know, pumped up again for another week, and ready to, you know, Sundays can be a good meal prep day because a lot of people are usually home on Sundays or Saturdays even, but, you know, things like that. What else? I'm trying to think of like other, you can go live. We can go live in Facebook groups now. So if you're whipping up like a simple recipe that's not going to take you very long, you can go live about it. Or like if you've prepped ahead of time your, you know, parts of a recipe, and you just want to like go live real quick and show yourself scooping out the colored containers and plopping it on a plate. It might seem silly to us, but someone else who maybe hasn't done that recipe before, or like still feels like these containers are way too small, if you're like showing them like this does this on my plate, they might, you know, get a better idea of how they can prep. Share ways to meal prep, like buffet style meal prep is starting to become more common, where you can cut up a lot of different things, have them in huge bowls, and then randomly throughout the week just scoop out a red and a green, or you know, things like that. So people don't necessarily have to eat the same thing every day. They can switch it up a little bit. What else? But yeah, or even if you're like struggling, or if you just read something or saw something that was super motivating, or if someone in the group is doing a really good job, go live and be like, this girl's kicking ass, like congratulations to her, you know, like call out your customers and your coaches who are doing a really good job, recognize people who are killing it. People are going to respond very well to that. They're going to love that they got recognized in the group, and then maybe other people in the group are going to be like, ooh, I want someone to recognize me. So maybe they'll start posting more and sharing more. You know, fun things like that. these groups can be fun and exciting. Sometimes we have to get a little creative with it. And again, like I said before, sometimes no matter what you do, it's going to be quiet. But trust me when I say that people wanted to be in that group with you for a reason. So they're watching you, and whatever you're doing and posting and sharing in that group is motivating them. They just may not be a social media savvy person. They may not like sharing their journey publicly. They may not like being vulnerable or sharing a sweaty selfie. They may be totally outside of their comfort zone even doing this in the first place. But whatever you're sharing, they're watching. They wouldn't have come to you. They wouldn't have joined your group if they didn't want to be there. So it can sometimes feel like you're posting to yourself, but you're still impacting somebody. So don't let yourself stop just because you feel like it's not doing anything. What else do I want to say? Yeah, I would say definitely sporadically throughout the group, share success stories, whether it's yourself or someone on our team or someone on Fit Mama or, Beachbody. If you go into our Coach Online office, you can find a bunch of success stories. You can share those. But showing people results that are possible from what they're doing is really motivating. And, always, there's obviously a disclaimer, like results vary depending on the person, the effort and all that stuff. But I think it really says something when, if you're like, for instance, if I was doing the 21-day fix for the first time and I wasn't sure about it and someone posted a ridiculous before and after from just one round of the 21-day fix, I'd be like, oh yeah, I am going to be a little more serious about this if it can get me results like that type of thing. And I don't do that enough. I don't share transformations nearly enough. And I think that's a huge thing, not only to do in our challenge groups, but just on our Facebook pages, like showing people like, here's an awesome transformation, help me congratulate them, whatever. Showing people what's possible with these amazing products that we have to offer is like awesome. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Do you guys have anything you want to add? Like things that have really worked well for you, and even for like inviting to these things too. I know there's a lot of ways you can invite.
I have something that has worked pretty good. Sorry, my cat's attacking me right now. She's pissed at me.
No.
Hi. Okay. Sorry. I've got a zoo going on over here. So I found this works really good with my free groups, especially the clean eating groups, is I always have some sort of a point system for a prize, like you were talking about. Usually I go with the Fixate. That's a good one too. Like $14 with your coach discount, so I usually just stock up on those. And people seem to really like that. But so I run, different ways for them to earn points, commenting, questions, that kind of stuff. But then in the beginning, I let them earn points for inviting friends who they think might be interested.
Yes.
And this is a good way to kind of build your network, because then all I have to do is friend request all those people, and it's not weird, or, I just friend request them and then I reach out and I say, hey, thanks for joining my group. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me personally or in the group, and kind of just like introduce myself and give them like a little rundown. I don't really get into Beachbody or anything like that unless it's relevant or if they ask about it, but I just kind of reach out. And so that's a really good way. I mean, I had a clean eating group back in the spring that I ended up with like 45 people, and It was like 30 new contacts, so I found a really good way, because I struggle with inviting or friending new people, because I feel like I'm not finding any people that it's not in. I know it's not super weird just to friend request out of the blue, but it still feels that way for me. So I found this is a good way to kind of keep adding people, and it just feels a little less icky to me, I guess. So that's been working out pretty good. So that's a good one. I definitely recommend trying that.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, and people do it because if they're getting points towards a prize, like, and at first I was like, oh, I'll maybe cap it at like 5 people, but like, who cares if they want to invite 10 people? It's 10 more people, and whatever. So yeah, that's been working good. I'm excited to try that again because I feel like I'm in a rut with adding new people right now. So I haven't done a clean eating group in a while, so I'm looking forward to this. All flavors, I think I'm gonna call it. I don't know. I'm still working on the name, but yeah. So that's a good one.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That kind of brings up, this is like totally a tangent right now, but it's such a good thing to remember to always ask for referrals. Like if you're inviting somebody to, whether it's a free group or like a Beachbody group, someone, either showed interest or you invited them. If they tell you yes, ask them if they know anyone else who would like to join you. If they tell you no, ask them if they know anyone else who would be interested, because this is how you can be connected to people who might be interested. Like if somebody might like not be ready right now, but they have like a friend who's been like, maybe their friend has been talking about how they wanted to change their habits or something, and this person refers you to that friend, you don't know where that relationship is going to end up going. And sometimes, like I've heard a lot of coaches say that some of their best either customers or coaches have been from referrals. And that's definitely something that we should start to kind of ingrain in our brains, to always ask that question. And it's not a rude question to ask. Like, you're asking because you want to help more people. And you can word it that way. You can say like, whether or not the person you are talking to at the moment said yes or no, you can say like, listen, like I really want to share this and help as many people as I can. Like, do you know anyone who would be interested in a group like this or something like that? And they may say no, or they may connect you with somebody, and there's no telling where that relationship is going to go, but it's still great to ask. So thank you for that reminder. And kind of like what I said last week, your free groups can be whatever topic you want. It's a free group, there's no right or wrong way to do it. So, get creative with those. But again, it's easier to transition to a Beachbody group if it's more like fitness or clean eating related or something like that. But, developing your brand, like trying to figure out your target market, did I say that right? It can be really helpful to do these like random creative free groups, because that connects you to people who like what you like. And though, that's still a way of building a relationship. You don't necessarily have to put them in another group, but you're building a relationship with them. So all of that is super valuable. And then definitely having like a monthly plan, I think, is something that we should all try to do, whether we do it as a team or individually. It's totally up to everyone. I would never force all of you to do your own groups. If you want to be in mine, you're welcome to. Every month, I think it's a good idea for us to kind of get together and strategize about the groups that we're going to have set, and kind of like what we're doing this month. Whoever wants to join or co-host or branch off can do whatever you want. But I feel like a big reason why I personally have been in a lull with my business is that I haven't consistently had anything to invite people to. So like, what do I expect, right? So definitely important to have these groups. And this is where these groups are where the magic happens. I mean, you're basically giving people what you told them they would get by you being their coach, you being their supporter and cheerleader, and helping them get results. Because, this is something that's really hard to do alone. Some people may want to, and that's fine. But a lot of the times having this showing people our community and how awesome it is to be a part of these groups and to share what you're learning and to show them value and to show them, like, this is what I'm giving you everything that I have. Like, I want to help you succeed. That is going to speak volumes to people. And that also might eventually get you more referrals from someone who kicked butt in one of your groups and is like, oh my gosh, you have to join this with me. They might reach out to their friends like, this group was awesome. She's running another one next month. You got to join me. And like I said last week too, challenge groups is one of the best ways to get coaches, because you're showing them what it is that a coach does. You're showing them how supportive we are. You're showing them how simple it is to just share your journey and join a community. And you're getting these people results. They're falling in love with the products. They're falling in love with the shakes. And I mean, we can all attest to this. Like, how easy is it to start telling people what you're doing when you love what you're doing? Like, that's the best way to do it, really. And, you're falling in love with the results that you're getting and the way that you're getting them. And you just can't help but share that with people. And especially as you start getting results, people are going to start asking you or asking your challengers, what are you doing? Like, you look great. You look so happy. And that can either lead them to want to coach or can lead them to refer to you to get them going. So challenge groups are just such a big part of this business. And I really want us as a team to start focusing more on running these every month and really showing people what we have to offer and helping them get results and really changing people's lives, because that's the main thing of what we want to do. And that's going to help everything else in the long run. So that is my plan. I'm thinking everyone else's too. Sorry, my voice is like really weird right now. Does anyone want to add anything?
I feel like it would be helpful if we have like some kind of database of all the groups that are going on. And like even ones that have happened in the past. So like I've never personally done a group. So like if there was a whole list of all the challenge groups that people did every month for the last like year that I could look at, I could like look at that and get ideas from that. And then that way you still know, what's going on for the next month. So like I could invite people to someone else's group. But I just don't know how we would do that.
I know. I'm trying to think, because I did make a Google Doc once, but it seemed like it just gets lost in the page.
Could we do, and I don't know how this works, but I've heard a few people talk about it, and I want to look into it for other things, but is it possible to do like a Google Calendar for the team? And then if we do, can you go like back and forth, like, back into the history and then, ahead of time to see like what people have going on, down the road?
I don't think so. I feel like earlier this year, I was trying to figure that out. I'm pretty sure there is a way to like share a Google Calendar, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But that's probably, I think that would probably be like the only way to really do that. We would.
And then like everybody could go and again, I have no idea how this works, so this is just me shooting from the hip, but if everybody has access to it, then everybody could add like the challenge groups they're running. And then that way people can, because I'm sure most of us feel the same way, but I'm happy to have anybody on the team hop in on my group or invite people to my group. Mm-hmm. So that way, you can kind of have a feel for what's going on, over the next month or even 2 months, so that when you're talking to your customers and maybe you don't have one plan, but if we're able to see like what's going on in the next month, it might just be easier to invite.
I'm going to have to look into this more, because I could have sworn
I will too, because I've been wanting to look into a couple of those, like Google. I don't use Google the way it should be used. I basically just use email and that's it. But I want to learn a little bit more in the next couple of weeks, about some of those like Google apps and stuff. So
yeah, because I was talking to my success partner earlier, and she like created this like wicked awesome looking thing from Google Docs, and she's like, yeah, I don't even have Microsoft. I just use like the Google, like the free stuff. And I'm like, well, why the heck am I paying for Microsoft when I can be doing the same thing for free? But I'm still like afraid to delete it because I feel like I need to learn how to use those other things first.
You're right. I know.
But yeah, I mean, I know there's a way to like share events on Google Calendars. There has to be a way to share the calendar itself. So
I think there is. Last year I was working with like a team, helping them with some of their accounting stuff, and they added me to their calendar, and then it was just for a short period of time, and I didn't really it was like coming up on my phone as like, like on your phone, how your calendar syncs to like your Google. Like it was like a separate calendar that like synced to everybody else's. And you could like have like task lists, why can't I say that? Task lists. And like people could like check off the tasks and stuff. Not that would be relevant to what ours, but there was like some really cool ways to integrate like the Google apps.
That was Google? That was like a Gmail?
Yeah, it was the Google Calendar, and it was so long ago, and I kind of forgot about it, and then it recently like clicked, and I was like, oh, that might work.
Oh,
I just have to look into actually setting it up and how it works and stuff, because I didn't really use it too much.
Oh, I just found something. So I'm in my Google Calendar right now, and it says sharing with coworkers. Companies can move to Google Calendar to make sharing easier. And I just clicked on the learn how. So I'm going to dig into that.
And you might have to set up, this might be what it was though. They might have had like a Google account for the company. So I don't know if like you have to set up another Google account for like the team. I don't even know how that would work. But I think that's how they got it to work, and then you can give, because otherwise it'd be like giving, unless you don't use your Google Calendar, but I don't know if it would be like if it's linked to your Gmail, like if it would be your personal calendar that you're releasing to everybody.
So this is like ridiculous. I have probably like 6 or 7 Gmail accounts. Don't even ask me why. So my business one, like my Embrace Every Step at Gmail, like I don't put anything in that calendar. So that would be the one I could share. But
that would work.
I agree with you. Like we would all need to make sure we're not sharing. I mean, unless someone doesn't care. But like I got way too much shit in the calendar for one of my Gmail accounts that like you guys would want no part of. So
right.
But yeah, so I just clicked on that. So I'll see if I can figure out like what I would need to do. And then I don't know. I mean, Gmails are free, so I don't even know if everyone who doesn't, if like people only have one Gmail account, if they would want to just like create a new one just for.
I don't think everybody would have to create a new one. I think just like you would need like an admin account, like your Team Embrace one to like set it up. And then I think you can just grant everybody access to it using their Gmail. And then you have the choice. Like it was weird on my phone, like
you could
on my calendar phone, I saw both like my stuff and then like in another color was like this other stuff. It was on the same calendar, but like you could tell they were like from a different group. It was kind of weird. And I think you could like in your own settings, you can like turn that off if you don't want to see it on your calendar or whatever. But
yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was neat. It seemed really cool. I wasn't around working on the project long enough to really like, get into it and learn how to use it. But
all right, I will try. I found that tab, so I'll see if I can maybe do that and get that going. If not, we'll figure out another way. The Google Doc, don't feel like worked very well because that just like gets lost in the page, but we'll figure, or I could even, or if we do the Google Doc, I can add that to the stuff that's linked with the cover photo.
Yeah.
So that everyone knows where to find the calendar, which is up there. So that actually is probably what I would do regardless.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to using that, we can just do it that way.
Yeah.
Cool.
That actually reminded me of a question I had for you. I'm wondering if you have any advice for, I have this girl who is really interested in the coaching opportunity. She has no idea, like she knows like a few of the programs, but she doesn't really know anything about like coaching or like, you know, I'm trying to present the opportunity to her. She wants me to like email her the details, and I'm like, I don't know what to send her without it being like, you know, 10 pages long and like so overwhelming. I'm just wondering if you know of any like good like videos on like what coaching is, or like presenting the opportunity like in a non-overwhelming way.
Didn't they just come out with a new video with like Chelsea Pearson and stuff?
Yeah. So within the past couple of months, they created a new Welcome to Team Beachbody video.
Okay.
And
awesome.
It's just like a little bit more updated than the one they had before it. It's like really good. I'm pretty sure. I think I shared it before. Let me search real quick.
YouTube.
But if not, I can. Oh, my computer's being so slow. I can send it to you.
Cool.
I have it saved on my phone, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, they made a new one, and it's a lot better than the old one.
Good. I remember seeing like one or two, and I don't know, I feel like the first one I saw, I forget who it was, but it was like, I just didn't love it, you know? I just didn't feel like it really got the point across, I guess. But
well, I think it's hard to get the point across because it's so, like kind of what you said, like you could go on for like days talking about it.
Yeah.
So I would recommend sharing the video and then asking her, what did you like best? And that kind of goes back to the personality test that we talked about before. So like if she answers she liked the community part of it, like the part where you become a part of like this amazing community of like-minded, positive, driven people, then you can focus the majority of what you talk next about that. Or if she talks about how she really likes the financial opportunity, then you can be more specific to that. Or if she talks about what are like the other, like basically based on what she tells you she liked best is where you can focus the rest of your conversation on, because the rest she can learn as she goes.
Yeah.
But as long as you're telling her, not like telling her what she wants to hear, but you know what I mean?
No,
like
yeah.
it doesn't sound like sleazy, but you know, like everyone has their own interests, I guess, and like based on her personality, she's going to like certain parts of that presentation more than others. Mm-hmm. And that kind of gives you okay, this is what I'm going to talk in more detail about to you. Oh, good. Yeah. And I just shared it with you in the chat. You're quick.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Perfect. And I'll actually share that in our team page again because it's such a good video. But it kind of like, I mean, I haven't watched it in a little while, but I remember when I watched it, I felt like it did a good job of like touching on all the good points.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a girl that I've been in touch with for like since April. I met her down at that big country festival that I was working
nice.
at. And we just kind of like hit it off, and like we're just chatting about like what what do you do? What do you do? She was from the East Coast too, so we kind of got to chatting. And she's like super into. She's like a yoga instructor, and she's just really active. And she was talking about like wanting to get back into teaching, and like, but she also wanted to travel and do something that like. It was just like she was basically saying she wants to be a Beachbody coach, but she doesn't know Beachbody coaching exists. So I was like, yeah. So I told her, I'm like, you might be interested in this. And she's been like in some of my challenge groups for a little bit. She just didn't have the money for a challenge pack. Yeah, but she said she definitely wants to sign up. So then she just reached out to me recently, and she's like, I still don't have the money quite yet, but she's like, tell me more about what this is again. You know, she's like, sorry, I know you told me already, but she's like, I just, you know, want to look a little more into it and, you know, start getting my feet wet. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel like she could be really, really awesome. But yeah. I just need like one or two people, you know. I finally started my coach page this week, which I've been wanting to do forever. I feel like that hopefully will help, you know, get some of my, I mean, it's all discount coaches for the most part. I have one or two that have expressed like, yeah, maybe I'd be into that. Like, you know, tell me more kind of a thing. So I feel like that'll be a good platform to maybe encourage them.
Yeah, definitely.
At least to like turn emerald. And, you know, so they can get their shakes, like, paid for and that kind of stuff, like, you know, at a minimum, even if they don't want to, you know, pursue the business, you know, maybe it can help some people sign a few people up. But we shall see.
Awesome. Well, congrats on that. That's a big step, having a coach page.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. I'm like, no, I'm super excited about it, but I'm like, God, what do I don't even know where to start with them, you know?
I know. It's kind of like, trying to think of like what I used to share. Like I would just share like a helpful video that I watched, or like I'd tell people about, like at the time, like the Fit Mama calls, but then like we started our own. So like you can share with them about our calls if you want to, or, like if you have a lot of your discount coaches in there, like that's totally fine. You can kind of, I mean, not that you want it to be like a challenge group, but like sharing occasionally like things like an ingredient in Shakeology, or like something like videos about Shakeology, like things that are like kind of educating your discount coaches and coaches. So like those for the discount, like are understanding like why they want to stay on the shakes, like why they're so good for them. And then like for your coaches to help them share that with others. But I mean, there's kind of like no wrong way to do it. So, you know, try not to, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but when you think about it, like it doesn't, like there's really no wrong way to do it. So, you know, whatever you feel like you should be posting in there, you can. Like you can do national wake up call reminders, you know, little things like that. But I think just having it there is great. And like, you know, letting them know that they can post in there or ask you questions and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured. At first I'm like, God, it's going to be like one more thing to do. I can barely keep up with my challenge groups, but it's like I don't have to post every day in there. Like, you know, even if it's just like once or twice a week, you know, a little reminder, and I'm sure it'll start slow, and then all of a sudden it'll be like your page and get all sorts of coaching on it.
Exactly, it will. And then, you know, you'll like get the hang of it, and you'll start figuring out, like you're going to start picking up on things and be like, ooh, that would be good to share in here. Or, oh, like that's a good thing to share. Like things that you wouldn't have thought otherwise, you know?
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Renee, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I remember one thing from Summit that guy Michael, is that his name?
I forget.
He's like Spanish.
Miguel.
Yeah. He said, like, even if there's literally no coaches on your coach page, to just make, like, set a day every week where you have, like, your own call, if you want to call it a call since nobody's on it, but you still, like, record yourself with whatever you learned every week, and then by the end of the year you have 52 training videos for people, even if you have no one on your team.
Yeah. I remember that. That's a really good point. Thanks for reminding me. That is a good idea.
That's true.
I know, I need to start doing that. I've had a coach page since I basically signed up,
I know
but
you
I haven't
did, which is
posted in it in like, I don't even know how long.
It's okay though. That's
Probably like almost like 10 months. I don't even know.
Well, you have one, and that is something to be proud of. And people will start being added to that. It's just a matter of time.
I need to reach out to Bobby. I keep forgetting about him.
I know.
Because he did order something recently.
Oh, good.
Like last month, I think.
Yeah, and like I'm happy to, talk with him too if you want.
Yeah. I don't think he signed up. Actually, he did sign up to be a coach. I forgot.
Yeah, like a while ago with Dion.
And so if he's active,
he's
under
inactive.
me now, right? Now that Dion was not?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he's inactive.
Okay. I'll have to check.
Yeah, I'd have to look too.
I had a question about the girl that's about to sign up, and now I can't remember what it was.
If you think of it, let me know.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Well, I think we're done talking about like the challenge groups and stuff. So I'm just going to end the recording. So I'll just end the recording and then, and again, if anyone needs help with challenge groups or whatever, definitely let us know. All right. So I'm going to stop recording.